for what the system was going to be for, and then design the system to meet those needs. Too many times we see it happening backwards, where a system's put up for general deployment with the assumption it can do a lot of things, and then it doesn't necessarily do any of them quite very well. So the benefit that comes from that is exactly what Nelson's talking about. You pick out the user groups that are the most excited to begin with, and they're the ones that want to contribute along the business case phase and are most excited about getting out there and applying this. And it's fun to see where it goes from there.
Karen, did you have a question?
Let me see if I can hear me.
Yeah.
Can everybody hear? I don't know.
So let me see if I can frame this question properly, because it deals with the point that you all brought up. The power of having a very specific application and a custom design network to support that application versus the breadth of the broader application. So what I heard you say is that this particular application with the police force is transformational. And in your vision, you can see how those transformational qualities could have larger impacts in a city, like the after-school program and parks and recreation. But it was designed custom in a non-standard proprietary way. So how do you see in your network environment going from the specific into a broader application? And I particularly also like you to comment on the technology aspect of it.
Okay. The network itself, from a network administrator's view, looks pretty much like any network. And it can be divided up with virtual LANs and that sort of thing. So that if we need to, and we would, to separate the public safety traffic, for example, from the recreation department traffic, we'll be able to do that. And the network itself, because it will never be, I mean, if I loaded that network with every single employee in both the school and the city, that would be 6,000 users, and it'll never be even close to that. It'll be much more in the low hundreds of users on that network. And we knew that going in. The technology itself is proprietary, and as I mentioned, that was a very conscious choice on our part. It's not terribly expensive technology when you're talking about the kind of deployment that I'm referring to. Certainly the PCI card that goes into a laptop is a lot more expensive than the one you can buy at Staples, but it's not an outrageously high price. When you're talking about a business use where what's involved here is a service that costs a lot to deliver simply because there's a human being involved at the end of the day to deliver that service, and you're trying to leverage that human being's cost as best you can to deliver as much service as possible. So another card in the network is, even though it's an expensive card, is just not a big investment. The major investment is in the network itself. The network, in my view, probably has an investment life of probably on the order of 7 or 8 years, and then we're really going to want to make some kind of a change that will cost a lot of money. And that's something we understood going in. The investment cost of the network, the mesh piece, was $2.3 million was the contract value, and then you can add another $500,000 perhaps for the backhaul piece. The applications are actually another very large cost in that network, and all of that stuff eventually is going to have to be upgraded or rolled out, and a wholesale upgrade. Nothing has a permanent life. I hope that helps you a bit.
Tony Hill, Charles, I'd like to specifically ask you, you mentioned that this is a somewhat proprietary system, so I have 2 questions. Can it be implemented implemented elsewhere, or is it so proprietary that right now you couldn't license it out to another public safety organization? And then secondly, is it a complement or in addition to an 800 megahertz trunk system for the voice mobile?
Yes. Okay. The first question is, any municipality can buy what we bought. It's proprietary in the sense that Motorola owns the fundamental intellectual property of the network, and the products, as far as I know, are only available from Motorola. But anybody, any municipality that's interested could buy one of these networks and build it. I'm sure Motorola would be glad to talk to you.